So Donald Trump had his probationary hearing today via Zoom. Now I don't know if it's over or not. I assume it has probably already taken place. I have not heard for sure though. Um, but he's got this probationary hearing, and most of that we are not going to get unless Donald Trump talks about it himself. We are not going to hear how that went. I fully expect him to lie. He will probably make up some story about how the probationary officer was crying and didn't want to do it and was a big supporter and thought this was all a sham and all of that. Um, but they held the probationary hearing over Zoom, and that's interesting. A lot of people would be forced to do it in person, but Donald Trump being who he is, being a presidential candidate, and the logistics of having to, travel with an entourage and security and all of that, I can kind of understand them doing it over Zoom. Uh, Now, with this probationary hearing, they're looking into a lot of things with Donald Trump. They're looking into whether or not, like what his criminal history is, you know, because he's got his 34 felonies. They've got the felonies against his organization. They will ask about his other court cases, E. Jean Carroll, the civil fraud, and pending litigation, all sorts of stuff. And this probation officer is going to come up with a report for the judge and is going to say what they think is going to be appropriate sentencing. Um, and the judge doesn't have to follow anything. The judge is just going to look at this report and go, okay, well, this is what you're saying is all going on with Donald Trump. This is how he acted during his probationary hearing. He did not show any remorse or whatever. And it's going to lean one way toward helping or hurting Donald Trump. Some people have suggested Donald Trump will say whatever he has to this probationary person about, being contrite and sorry and, remorseful. Donald Trump isn't going to do that. Donald Trump will not admit that he was sorry or that he did anything wrong. He is going to be defiant to the end because in his mind he did nothing wrong and because that would break his little ego about being the smartest person in the room. So it's going to be interesting to see how this goes. But now he will have had his probationary hearing, and then he's got about 30 days till he is sentenced. And every day he's going to be sweating more and more, waiting to hear whether or not he's going to be not only a convicted felon, but an incarcerated convicted felon.